Adventure on Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio. And I'm here with our next guest who, man, they have some badass new music. And even part of the new video brought me back to my Sunset Strip 80s days. So that was really cool. Brought some good feelings there. So let's let it roll with Swaggermouth. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, man?
Hello.
I am doing phenomenal. Just got back from your neck of the woods like 1 o'clock in the morning last night because I was doing coverage for Punk Rock Bowling.
Oh, I heard that was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely. I go on tour and I do a bunch of festivals all over the U.S., UK, Europe. That's one of my favorite festivals as far as just how they do things because it's so different. Because they like invade and take over downtown Vegas, and it's not just you're going to a festival, but it's, you got all the club shows and the bowling, and they used to have a poker tournament, and it's just, and there's stages everywhere and things going on everywhere. So it's just kind of like a whole thing opposed to just a music festival.
Yeah,
Nice. It's a scene.
Sounds like a wonderful carnival.
Exactly.
Of characters.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny about that is I was interviewing Devo, and he basically said, about people that the punks take over, and they make downtown Vegas look more normal. Being there.
More normal. Whatever normal is anymore.
It's like the punks aren't the outcasts in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont.
Oh, that's funny.
Right. It's a terrific place.
So you guys basically, this is where this new music is all kind of born from Vegas. You guys went to Vegas and you kind of settled in, and then we had this, crap called a lockdown, and that was not fun for us, the listeners, or you as the artists. But I do think what we're going to talk about today is a product of that, because I also feel that a lot of artists, they, got a chance to jump off the hamster wheel during that lockdown and go back to being creative again.
I agree. We actually locked down. Swaggermouth was interesting. It's me, Jason Ebbs, my wife, Janea Ebbs, and then CRISS SLADE from AC/DC is on the drums. And we had a band prior to that called Ecotonic, and we were getting ready to record our record, and we were working on the new stuff, our second record, and we were about 5 songs in, and then AC/DC called him back to join for the tour in 2015, and we're like, shit, what are we going to do now? So I sat on this stuff for a second, and then COVID hit, which gave us 3 years of being locked down in the studio, because we have a studio in the house and everything, and that led me to revisit this stuff and go, you know what? I should really finish this. So,
and we were doing podcasts once a week through that too, playing our original stuff, and with very good response.
Yeah. But it sparked us to go ahead and finish this record, and then I put together a live band around it, and we got the deal with Rock Avenue Records USA, and you've seen the first video, so that's the product of our passion.
I love it. And what I think about when you're saying that is another reason, of what I was saying before. It used to be artists, they would make an album, but then there would be like a few different times that they would just redo it because it was like, oh, this isn't what we want. And nowadays it's like you have to pump it out. And it sounds to me like this album is that same scenario where, I mean, you had an original vision, but then that vision evolved,
Mm-hmm.
and so you could just make it better and better, and you had the time to make it better and better.
Yeah, you know what? It's true. It's funny though, because we did the whole record, which is called Never Shut Up, and I had all the songs done, and I'm like, man, this record feels like it's missing something. So I went back and looked at tracks that I hadn't finished, and I opened up this one, and I was like, holy shit! Like it hit me like a steamroller, and it had existed for a long time without lyrics to it.
The
and
song
then,
Let It Roll.
and then lyrics just kind of happened, and once we started laying down the stuff, I'm like, oh my god, I think this is the icing. This is the single we were looking for. You know.
Nice. See, so if you're going to take a positive, there it is, right there.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes we like to let creative ideas marinate a bit because they're very intentional. It's not just like we're slapping together something. It means something to us. It truly is a work of art. Each song is a work of art to us, and we put our hearts into it. So we want it to be the best it can be, and that takes time.
Absolutely. And sometimes, listen, any type of creative person, any type of artist, sometimes they hear their product after it's done, and they're like, and like you said, there's something missing, or there's something that needs to be fine-tuned or changed, and that's any form of art. Like my dad, he used to make paintings, and then one day it was a different painting.
Right.
And nothing from the previous painting even was there, but he just transformed it because the vision kind of changed once he could see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting. In any creativity, you reach a point where you got to go, okay, enough's enough,
Yeah.
And because, it's one thing to paint. I'm looking forward to doing the next record because, we bought since then, I recorded the majority of that in the other home studio. We've since bought a house, and it's called Dragon Castle Studios, and we bought it from Imagine Dragons. It's their band house where they recorded their hit records and stuff, and I think the Killers actually did a record here too. So I can't wait to set up and start from scratch here. Like I finished mixing it here and mastered it here, but I can't wait to start with the new band and start working on all the new stuff we already have.
We've already started 5 new songs for the next record.
Yep.
It's so. There is such a creative energy in this house that we are tapping into for sure.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's almost like maybe the lack of better term, the ghosts of those other bands are still there helping you out.
Well, you know what? It's funny you say that because my wife found this the day after it went on the market, and it just said professional studio located inside a beautiful home in this area, and we're like, okay, let's go see it. And we came in, and they had all their accolades and trophies and awards and MTV stuff all over the place, and we're just looking at this like, wow, what a cool find.
And we had no idea, that it was the Imagine Dragons home
until we
studio
walked in and saw it.
Well, of course, but I mean, beforehand, it was just
listed.
It was just listed as,
and we had
home with a professional studio, and I went, okay, we got to go see this.
And they had offers from other people that wanted to tear everything out because it absorbed a lot of the house. It's a totally pro floated floor with the control room and everything. And there were people that wanted to tear everything out. So I wrote him a letter and said, hey man, I'm Jason Ebbs. I played with Peter Criss, and my wife Janea played with Joe Cocker. And I'm not telling you this for any other reason other than to say we want to make use of this hallowed ground and continue the tradition. And they loved that. Yeah. So they stopped looking, and we just worked on it and made it happen.
Man, that's amazing. And then I also kind of dig with the video, like you shot that at multiple different locations.
Correct.
That is way cool because
thank you.
You watch it and you're feeling these different vibes as you go through the video.
Well, the cool thing is the one outside one where you get the drone shots from above where we're playing on a Wheel of Misfortune.
Yeah.
We caught the tail end of that, man. It's being leveled and it's being replaced by 650 homes. So we did like a commando shoot on it, and we got the last glimpse of it. And so I'm really happy we got to immortalize that because, that was a big part of Vegas for a long time. And then the other location was at Rockstars of Tomorrow, which is they just opened out here in Summerlin. And we believe in passing things on, and I think that the kids need to carry the torch for
It's
rock
a
and
school.
roll.
It's a
You know,
school
Yeah.
for
so
musician-
that's
kids
why we
that are
featured them in there.
Mhm.
And then the last location we did here at Dragon Castle Studios,
It's our
So-
property. It's the back of
Yeah.
our property. Yeah, the pool
and
area
we showed the control room and stuff.
and the control room. Yeah.
So
You know
Yeah.
what it reminded me of there?
What's
that
that?
was the part that reminded me of the old 80s Sunset Strip days. It
cool.
It kind of made me flash back to hanging out at the Rainbow.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I can see that.
That was the
Rainbow.
total vibe I got during that part. I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, because we had let me see. We had the bass player from Lizzie Borden. He was one of the guys in there, and we had a bunch of
Nice.
kind of cameo celebrity people that, we figured we'd Chris in the house because that was our first party. Chris in the house and invite select people over and shoot a video with a party scene here. So
It was very organic. It wasn't,
And that-
necessarily
yeah.
planned out. We just knew how the vibe that we wanted to capture, and then everyone just had a good time.
Yep,
And the
and-
camera rolled.
And that bottle of champagne that we opened was one of the two that they left us in the fridge when we moved in. So
The
that was,
magic-
that
Wow.
was ceremonious,
Yeah.
I love
Ceremonious.
that.
Yeah.
Ceremonial.
Ceremonial.
Ceremoniosity. I mean, what the fuck?
Oh man.
But, cool.
So we're
Yeah, I
glad
think
we
it's
went-
kind of like the universe just sent all these things your way in a row, and that
Yeah.
leads to dropping the album in late July.
Yep. Yeah, so we're looking late July, possibly August, depends. We're making our debut performances at Sturgis this year.
Wow, that's cool.
So we're playing the 7th and the 8th at Kickstands. And then working on some dates for Full Throttle as well. So we can hang out with our buddy Tommy London and
Nice.
have some fun.
Love it. And so how does everybody connect with you guys on the web, socials, pre-order or pre-save the new album, check out all your music, all that good stuff?
Yeah, you can go to swaggermouth.com. We're on Instagram as Swaggermouth, Facebook as Swaggermouth. I don't do the X or the TikTok at the moment, but someone else in the band might be doing that. Or you can hit up Jason Ebbs, EBS, and we'll keep you posted on what's going on and everything.
And we should give a shout out to our bandmates because they're wonderful guys. We're like a family now.
Yeah, they're cool. Borgi
Yeah.
on keyboards, Joseph Nile on bass, and Billy Kessner on drums, and Janea Ebbs on vocals, and I'm Jason Ebbs on vocals and guitar and production and stuff. So
So we're very blessed. It's
Well-
a very cool situation.
I think we're very blessed.
we're very blessed.
I know. I
Did
know.
you
I
say
can't
that?
speak.
Blessed.
I can't speak, right? Like I just started doing this stuff,
I thought I was the only one with breasts here.
Oh, that's fun.
I know, right? Maybe it was just like too much Vegas. I haven't slept in like 4 days.
You know what's so
that's so
funny?
cute.
Where do you live right now?
I live in South Florida.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, a long way from
Oh.
home. I like South Florida. So we when you visit Vegas, man, it's totally different than when you live here. If you live here and you act like that, you die early. So
Yeah.
you know,
I could never live there. Kudos to you because it was enough for me to stay away from the crap table to go do my interviews. Okay.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
See, I don't gamble. I don't really gamble.
Yeah, we're not into
And when I used to come out here, it was a 4-day binge. But now that I live here, I go out selectively, and I'm pretty busy with the studio and everything here. So, working on some clients and I'm working on our new stuff. But
Yeah. I wouldn't have survived much longer there, but you know how it is. You got the whole day festival, and then they have the club shows afterwards. So then you get back to the hotel at 3, and then if you don't do anything else, and then for me, I have to go and start editing, the interviews for my engineer to do the real edit and get everything prepared and do all that stuff. And then next thing you know, okay, it's time to go back to the festival and do some more interviews.
yeah, I get it.
But it's fun, and that's what your music is, fun.
Well, thank you.
I watched that video, and that just makes me think in a time where not many things are fun nowadays, and all the bullshit going on around the world, I can escape in your music and have fun.
Well, thank you,
Oh,
man.
that's
That's
great. That's what we
You know what? The reason we called the record "Never Shut Up" is because, man, society's pretty fucked up right now,
Right.
and we're all walking around on pins and needles, afraid to say things. You know, you can't say he or her. You can't. There's so many different things that we have to modify now. So as Americans, we painted ourselves into a corner. So the way I look at it, we got to hold on to our ability of free speech. You know, be respectful, of course. You know, I'm not into, not at other people's cost, but
Right.
that's one thing that's under attack right now. And no matter what side you're on, it's scary. So,
Oh, that's my thing. I always say it doesn't matter what side. Like I always say they're all on the same side, and it ain't mine. Okay, like like we should all be on the same side, but we're falling for the oldest trick in the book, and it's just like you can't even say hello to somebody and without them saying, "Well, what do you mean by that? That's not true."
yeah, it's scary. It's scary. So hopefully we can normalize it. You know, we're not too preachy, but if you look at our subject matter on the rest of the record, we cover a lot of these different things, not necessarily even giving a direction on it, just making people think. So that's the concept of what we're about.
But also have fun at the same time you're thinking.
But well, we can see that from our first single. So
There you go.
Yeah.
So let's just let it roll.
Let it roll, baby.
Roll.
I love it. Well, you guys rock. Thanks for giving us great music, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipe Man.
Oh, you know what? Thanks so much for having us. We look forward to coming back and doing a video version. And maybe you can meet the band at that time too.
Anytime, brother.
Awesome, man.
Thank you so much. It was great meeting you and talking with you.
Same here, and maybe I'll see you at a show somewhere, and we can do that in person.
Sounds good.
All right, you guys keep rocking and rolling.
All right, let it roll.
Woo, let it roll. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.